Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. How's everybody doing today? It's nice to see everybody watching from literally all around the world. I think that is so cool. We call our viewers the Lovities because in the summertime last year, I said the show has a lot of light, love, and levity. And I said love and levity just a little too fast. Out of my mouth came the word Lovity. And from that day forward, the viewers said, "We are your Lovity squad. You're Mr. Lovity. This is Lovity Hall. And our guests that pop on are a welcome to our Lovity family." And we've got an amazing guest, somebody you know quite well, I'm sure. The one and only from Happy Days, of course, but so much more than just that incredible 70s sitcom, Happy Days on ABC that so many people grew up with, where he played Ralph Malph with Anson Williams and Marion Ross. We had Anson as a guest on our show. We had Marion Ross as a guest on our show. And of course, Henry Winkler and Ron Howard and Erin Moran and Tom Bosley and so many other great, Scott Baio as well. Don is an incredible actor, brilliant singer as well. He is a New York kid like myself. And he is live and direct from Los Angeles, California, and he's going to join us in just a second. We're going to talk about, of course, some of the memories of when he was on Happy Days, but you know, he's a brilliant director as well as a performer, and he's got this illustrious singing career. He really knocks it out of the park. If you have not seen Don Most in concert, you should run out and get tickets wherever you see him coming to town because he is really, really good. And he loves the jazz and the American songbook, and he loves bringing back those standards and swing, which he grew up with in Brooklyn, New York. He's going to join us in just a second here live on the Jim Masters Show Live. And we welcome everybody. If this is your first time, I'm your host, Jim Masters. As you guys know, I do this work professionally as a television and radio personality and host, journalist, writer, actor, stage MC, voiceover artist, narrator, writer, producer. I've been doing it for a long time. Our show originates from the United States, from the greater New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. And we always have a good time, inspiring conversations and light, love, levity, and lots of entertainment as well. So we welcome you to the Jim Masters Show Live, sort of done in a Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson style, bringing back the lost art of conversation and interaction live with our viewers who are watching all across the United States, as well as Canada, Europe, Asia, Africa, New Zealand, Australia. We're still waiting for somebody from Antarctica and the Arctic Circle to chime in. I'm sure we'll have somebody watching one of these days from those areas. Spread the word about our show. Matter of fact, hello to everybody, and hello to all the Lovities who are the viewers, the faithful. While you're there, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV. Matter of fact, you will be able to see this full episode with myself, with Masters and Most. We're going to go on the road together, Masters and Most, or Most and Masters. We were just talking about that, laughing about that before going live. You can see the whole episode on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Subscribe to it. We would love that. That, of course, helps the series out, our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. And also don't forget to click that notification bell, that little icon that says notification bell, so you can be kept abreast of all the episodes and everything that we're doing here. Live episodes, holiday themed episodes, surprise pop-up shows, on location shows, and everything else that we do here at the Jim Masters Show Live. Also, this is like, we're approaching some 500 episodes that we have done 7 days a week live since we launched this series back in May 2020. 7 days a week live. And I love live television, live radio, live stage, because it just, you know, kicks up a certain element with the interaction and so much more. Give this episode a thumbs up while you can. We love that on our YouTube channel, and leave a comment for us as well. As we say, share the levity, spread the word about the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We would love that. Let's check in with some of our lovities watching from around the world, our faithful viewers. Sherry Larson is here. Hello, all. It's a beautiful 73 degrees there in Kansas. Nice. Did I mention I love fall? Yes, you just did. So do I. My birthday's coming up Friday, so I have to be partial to fall. And also Mary Bishop's here. Hello, Jim and lovely friends. Good to see you, Mary. Welcome to the show from Florida. Nice, nice, nice. And let's see, Crystal is here as well from Connecticut. She says, hi, Jim and Lovedies. Happy Wednesday. Happy first day of fall. Hope you had a fantastic day. Looking forward to an exciting show with inspiring conversation and Lovedy. Absolutely. Merlin is here from Ontario, Canada. She is saying hello to me and to all the viewers, the Lovedies as well. Good to see you there in Canada. And nice to see everybody that's tuning in. Look at all these great comments. There's a flurry of activity already happening. Welcoming everybody here. Ruth Reedy is here from Minnesota. Nice to see you as well. Karen Campbell Green from Nova Scotia is watching. Good to see you, Karen. Hello and happy early birthday, Jimbo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And let's see, who else is here? We've got a lot of great people. Yes, you got thumbs up for Don from Toby, who's watching from Encino, California. Nice, nice, nice. Christine Clifton from North Carolina checking in. Hello, Jim and Lovely friends. Happy first day of autumn. Welcome, Don, to the show this evening. Ready for another fantastic show. And Don's all set, ready. He's got a great location where he is. His background is terrific inside his home. And thumbs up to you as well. And Kathleen Walker is here. Merlin is here as well. And these are just some of the folks that are tuning in and saying hello as well. Kathleen Walker is in New York City, where, of course, Don hails from originally, from Brooklyn. Kathleen is just across the way next door in Queens. Hi, Jim. Hi, everyone. Hope all is well. Glad to be here to meet Don. Of course, I know that. And I believe Antonio is here. Yes, Antonio is here as well. Thank you very much. We love having you here. I know you're excited to be here as well. Renee Oscom is here from Iowa. She's tuning in. Good to see you, Renee. And everybody that's watching from all around the world. Anne is here from Jacksonville, Florida. Good evening, Jim and Lovely family. Love and hugs. Right back at you as well, Anne. Hope you're doing well tonight. Kathy Short in Cleveland. Happy Wednesday, Jim and Lovelies. So nice to be here. We're always happy when you're here from Cleveland. That means the Indians are not playing at home because you're here with us tonight. Otherwise, you'd be at the Indian game watching us on your cell phone with headphones. Joan Santo is here. Hi, Jim and Lovedies. Happy Wednesday. Good to see you as well, Joan, and everybody that's chiming in literally from all around the world. Thanks, gang. We love having all of you here. And we're going to have a good time tonight. Again, our friend Don Most is here. You guys know him from so many incredible projects, productions, shows, most notably, of course, Happy Days, the beloved Happy Days sitcom. But again, he's done so much more since then. But going back in time, of course, Happy Days was one of those things that just, has become an American treasure, and it remains an American treasure with that incredible cast. And it's really just a beloved series and so well cast. And as I mentioned, we had Marion Ross on, Anson Williams was on, and now Don is on tonight. And you know him from Happy Days, but did you know he is an incredible singer as well, and so much more? Don grew up again in New York. He lived in Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, graduated from Erasmus High School, and he attended Lehigh University for 3 years from 70 to 73. Originally intending to study engineering, he changed his major to business after his first semester, and he made plans during his junior year to spend the summer of 93 in searching for acting jobs in Hollywood before completing his studies. And of course, opportunity sometimes knocks on the door, and then things happen which can go in a very positive direction. From there, he moved on to California to pursue acting full time. And he appeared on the 113th and final filmed but never aired episode of Room 222. Now, remember, we just had Denise Nicholas on our show from Room 222 just a week ago. She was also in Heat of the Night with Carol O'Connor. He was in the role of Louis, the redheaded class wisecracker, and really incredible because it aired in 74, just as Happy Days began on the same network on ABC. In addition to Happy Days, of course, he was in a lot of other productions. Film credits include Leo and Laurie, EDTV, Planting Melvin, The Great Buck Howard. He was on Emergency. Remember Emergency with Randolph Mantooth? Of course, Chips, Baywatch, The Love Boat, Sliders, Star Trek Voyager, Diagnosis Murder. Of course, with Dick Van Dyke. Glee, Charles in Charge, Scott Baio, of course, and much, much more. He also performed as a voice actor on several Saturday morning cartoon series. That's right. As Ralph Malph on The Fonz and the Happy Days Gang, Eric the Cavalier on Dungeons and Dragons, Styles on Teen Wolf, and he also made a cameo on Family Guy, too. His music career is incredible. We're going to talk about that as well. One of his songs, Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks back in 76. He continues to perform to this day. He makes his home in just outside Los Angeles in the suburbs, and it is our honor and pleasure to welcome the one and only, yes, Don Most with us live from California. Don, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Jim, and quite an introduction. That was a lot of research done on your part or your team. So kudos to the team. Thank you so much.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, and you're looking at the team. So it's I've always admired your work. I've always admired the paths that you've taken. You, of course, known for Happy Days, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but you're a Brooklyn boy, and you grew up in the city. And early on for you, what were some of those early influences for you growing up that pointed you in the direction of wanting to do this? I mentioned engineering was something that you initially wanted to pursue, but then, of course, that acting bug came your way. And of course, growing up with family around, having loving family, that also is an influence, like mom and sis, right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow.
Taking us back to the days of Brooklyn. Yes.
Ocean Parkway. That
Ocean
was
Parkway.
right in front of 510 Ocean Parkway, where my grandparents had an apartment. And we were over there for, looks like maybe a holiday meal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Kim, that's great that you found that picture.
You look exactly the same face, the same smile.
Haven't changed a bit. Well, I love it.
Your mom and your sister and
yes,
their
Randy.
Influences, right?
My sister Randy and my mom. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Huge influences, as my dad and my grandparents were.
And your dad as well, yes.
Yeah. They both, as Bernie, and my mom was Joyce.
Yes.
They passed very young.
Early,
My dad was not quite 58.
Yeah.
And so that was tough, very tough. And my mom, a little older, but she was like 65 when she passed. So they've been gone a long time. So it's great that you brought them back. Thank you for showing that.
Oh, my pleasure. That's early influences for you. And what was it like growing up in Brooklyn? We've had several guests, actually. There's something in the water in Brooklyn. Barbara Streisand, Barry Manilow. We had Rosalind Kind on recently. There's something in the water. A lot of talent comes out of Brooklyn. Tell us about what it was like growing up and maybe some of the influences you had early, Don.
Well, sure. Yeah, I think you're right. There is something about, I have some theories about that. But you mentioned Barbara Streisand. We went to the same high school, although she was there before I was there. But and Neil Diamond went there for a few years. Barry Manilow, because I'd met him years ago and got to, had some good conversations. He actually lived in an apartment several blocks away from where I grew up. I think the diversity in Brooklyn, the energy, the need to be constantly adapting to things very quickly, the speed, the pace, and everything. I think that all helps an actor, because as an actor you have to adapt and react and be in the moment. And so I don't know. I think there's something about the lifestyle there that might lend itself to that. It also might just be that there's so many people in Brooklyn. It's almost like it could be a city, 3 million. I don't know what it was when I grew up, 3-4 million people in Brooklyn alone or more. So that there's a big pool of people that come out of it. So there's that as well.
Yeah.
Now, influences, I guess, in terms of the performing arts, there were a lot. You mentioned my parents. My mom would take my sister and I. We'd go to sometimes, a lot, whether it be a musical, concert, theater, dance, and all kinds of things, and going to Radio City Music Hall on Sundays to see movies. In the city.
Yes, yeah.
So there was all that, and then I watched a movie. They had $1 Million Movie back
On Channel 9.
on Channel 9,
Yes.
right? And if you recall, they would pick a movie for the week, and then they would show it every night, Monday through Friday, twice a night,
Right.
four times Saturday and 4 times Sunday.
Mhm.
So 14 times. So one day I was in 3rd grade, and a friend of mine, it was Monday, said, "Did you see $1 Million Movie last night?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, I wasn't." They said, "It was really good. It was a movie called The Jolson Story."
Yes.
And all about the great Al Jolson. So I was like, "Oh, really?" And like I said, I was 9 years old. So
Yeah.
I watched it that night, and it was like, it had this profound impact. Even though it was Larry Parks playing Jolson, first of all, he captured Jolson great, but it was
Yes.
Jolson's voice and the music and the story and the songs and all that. And I was just mesmerized, and to the point where I think I watched it every showing after that. So I probably watched it 13 times that week. And I became like a Jolie freak. Jolie was his nickname. And I went out and bought records, and I started singing to Jolson and sing for my grandparents, sing Mammy, and and I was pretty shy, but when it came to that, for some reason, it was like it brought something out in me.
Yeah.
And so that was the first huge influence. And as a result of that, by the time I was 13, my parents saw how much I wanted to pursue this, because at my bar mitzvah, I got up and sang with the band, sang, "Rockabye Your Baby" or something.
Yeah. Right.
And everyone's going, "Oh, wow, he's really," they were surprised. And so my parents found through a friend, a school in New York, in Manhattan. It was run by an old vaudevillian, a guy named Charlie Lowe. It was Charlie Lowe's studio. It was on 51st Street, right off Broadway. So I started going there, and I'd take the subway from Brooklyn. I was 13, but every Saturday go in and for the singing, and had to learn tap dancing and some acting. We did some shows. And then I got asked to be part of a review that Charlie put together with his top students. And so when I was 15, I found myself in the Catskill Mountains one summer singing in all the nightclubs,
In the Borscht Belt. Yes.
The Borscht Belt, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my sort of real first foray into everything.
And did that bug bite you then? Did you enjoy that experience?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was in heaven, that here I thought I had totally made it, performing in this nightclub review that summer in all these different, in some of the hotels, we played some of the big hotels. We didn't get to crack the Concorde, which was the big one, but we played in all the other ones. And it was a great experience, with different band each time. You had to learn, I learned a lot. But then what happened was I switched gears, and I started focusing more on acting. My father suggested that I take a more serious acting class, and I don't know, he's had insight and saw that this maybe was limited in terms of a future for me, especially that kind of music in the 70s was not in vogue like it's come back so much starting in the late 80s and 90s. Back then it was like almost passé.
Yeah, it was either rock or disco back then.
Yeah.
Or Motown. Yeah.
Oh, Motown. So I switched over. I got into this really good acting workshop, and I loved it, and really started focusing on that. And was able to get a manager and started making all the rounds, auditions, and I started getting a lot of commercials. So it was good experience doing something on film, because all the training in the acting class I did was more theater oriented. So this was great. So I learned from the very first, it was quite a learning experience, that first commercial, when all of a sudden I was not doing it on a stage. I was doing a commercial lying in bed. I was supposed to be waking up in the morning thinking of all the things I had to do and performing it in a very different medium like that. It was a boom, the director came up to me, gave me some direction, and I realized, and so I had to, it was so I wound up doing 40 commercials over the next 4 years, and worked with some really good directors who went on to do films. So it was great training ground. And it also gave me some financial freedom, enabled me to go out to California to try to make some contacts there. Because as you mentioned, I was going, this was during the time I was going from Erasmus Hall my senior year and into Lehigh University. And yes, I entered Lehigh as an engineering major, but it was not like I really wanted to do that. That was, my parents wanted me to have something solid and not just, not go to college and pursue acting, but have something that I could depend on that, might be able to give me a career, since if acting didn't work out, since it's such a precarious and, competitive business and all that. So I understood that. And that's what the engineering was for. And I realized after one semester, my heart wasn't in it, and I wasn't going to class all the time. I was going into Manhattan for auditions and missing classes. It would be impossible to survive engineering without going to classes.
Yeah, right.
So that's why I switched into the business school, and I was able to survive that. So, but I knew that I wanted to pursue the acting and singing, and I knew that. And that's why I went out to California after my junior year, initially just for the summer, to make some contacts, because that's where all the film and TV was being shot back then in LA.
Right.
So I was able to get an agent from some of the agents I worked with in New York, and because I was doing pretty well with commercials, and then they sent me out on some auditions that right away, and one of them was that Room 222 one that you mentioned.
Yes.
And I got it. And so that was my first guest starring role. And I was while I was out there just for the summer. And I didn't know that one never aired. So that's kind of interesting. I was wondering whatever happened, but it was during a time where, I don't know, maybe the show was ending. I can't remember. But then shortly after that, I got Emergency. And that one aired. But then I was going back to college for my senior year. I flew home, and my sister Randy was getting married, and I was there for the wedding. And then several days later, I was supposed to go back to Pennsylvania. But my manager pulled me aside during the wedding and said, I had a long talk with your agent, and you got some real momentum. You got things very quickly, and they think you could do well. And the seasons pilot season, things are heating up. They think you should, it wasn't pilot season yet, but they said they think you should take 6 months off. You could always go back, but keep the mojo, going.
Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't even think more than 2 seconds. It was, yes, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yes, right now. Sign me
That's
up.
it. 2 days later, I was on a plane back there.
Wow.
And got an apartment, and didn't know anyone out there still. I met some people during the summer, so that at least I knew one or two people that were staying there to go to law school, a friend, and I got an apartment in the same complex that he was living in. And but then nothing happened for months, and I was like, oh God, made a mistake. But then I got an interview for Happy Days, and followed by another one, and then a screen test, and so then things changed rather dramatically after that.
They did. And when you got that opportunity with Happy Days, what was your initial thought? Were you excited, gung ho? Gee, I want to, I can't wait. Or was there any hesitancy, or you were just excited to have this opportunity when you heard about the
that's
script? And
interesting question. I mean, you would think I had to have been very excited, and I was, but what I failed to mention is what I was really interested in was dramatic work more so than comedy. people ask me about comedy. I said, yeah, I could do comedy if the script is good and the dialogue and the character, because I'd done some in class and some workshops. But I was more interested. By then, my acting idol was Jack Nicholson, and in those early years, I saw him in, Five Easy Pieces that blew me away, and then of course, then the movie, Easy Rider, which they did first, but I saw it after, and then The Last Detail and Chinatown, Carnal Knowledge, those early movies, and he was my acting idol, so I was more interested in that drama, and I wound up getting an audition for a TV movie that was a dramatic film about take place during World War II, and it was a great script, and I had a great audition, and I really wanted to do that. It was being directed by the guy who directed Brian's Song, which was that was the biggest TV movie at the time, and he was going to be directing, and it was written by the guy who wrote Summer of '42.
Yes, another one,
which I loved. So this is the kind of project I want. So my agent called me and said, they loved you and you've got a great chance of getting it, but they're not going to know who's playing your uncle for like a week, and they want to see who's matched, but you've got a really good chance of getting this. So then when I got the word from the Happy Days people, I had auditioned for Potsy, and
which people don't know, right? Potsy was the original role you were looking at. Yeah.
There was a small part in the pilot for a guy named Ralph, but he had one or two little scenes. It's a guy that, sort of a friend, but not a close friend of the guys of Richie and Potsy. So they said, he didn't get that, but they liked his screen test so much they want to make a role for him as a regular, and they'll give him the part of Ralph, and that'll be expanded, and he'll be a regular on the show. Well, it was a Friday night, and I talked to the agent. I was really wanting that other one, and they said I had a good chance. So after a long discussion, we decided to pass on Happy Days.
Yes.
So I did.
Yeah.
So we passed.
Which now,
but as fate would have it, that same agent played basketball every Saturday at Gary Marshall's house. So Gary talked to him during the break and convinced him that he thought this had a great chance. And, what is your boy turning us down? What's going on?
Yeah.
and he said, we'll make it 10 out of 13 guarantee instead of 7. And they offered me, instead of $750 a show, $1,000 a show.
Yeah.
So my agent on Mondays, I think we should, reconsider. And
they really wanted you. They saw you as part of the team. Part of the family.
They did. You got to give them credit. Gary Marshall and Tom Miller and Ed Milkus, the other exec producers, they did an amazing job casting, because the group of people that they put together for that show, it's like lightning in a bottle or something. The chemistry, and the talent, and the personalities, and the way we all mesh together, on screen and off. So you alluded to that. You said beautifully cast show, and they really did an amazing job, and that's a large reason for the success of the show. It really was.
Did you ever think that it would become the hit and the beloved franchise that it did? Happy Days, then Laverne and Shirley right after. I mean, that was just must-watch television.
Yeah, to be honest, there's no way I could have predicted the immense kind of success, to the degree that it had. But I did feel right from the beginning, I felt that magic. And I remember calling my parents back home in Brooklyn while we were shooting the pilot. And I said, I've got a good feeling about this, because I was watching, even when there weren't scenes that I was part of. I would watch the scenes with Tom and Marion and Ron and Aaron.
Yeah.
And I would watch the scenes that Henry was in. And I was like seeing all this, to me, it was like magic happening. And I didn't, it was my first series, so my parents probably thought I was just being optimistic and it was wishful thinking. But I said, I really think looking back, my instincts were right. I knew that there was something good and it had a real chance, is what I told them. Had a real chance.
A show that's really successful that I think people really connect with is shows like Happy Days, shows like Laverne and Shirley, Lucy, Dick Van Dyke, these shows where it doesn't even seem like you're acting. It seems like you are the real deal and you are the part of the family, you're really friends. And a lot of that is accentuated by the way the set operates, the camaraderie, the mutual respect, the
Mhm.
lifting one another up during
Yes.
the tapings. And that really was quite the experience for you and everybody on Happy Days, huh?
Oh, very, very insightful on your part and very astute. Yes, the support, the camaraderie, the being there for each other, the real love that became part of that we all started to feel for each other, as well as some of the, like our director Jerry Paris was a huge influence,
Yeah.
and Jerry was a comic genius who had
Yes.
done the Dick Van Dyke shows,
Yeah.
and he and Gary that's where they worked together, and then Gary, of course, was a great influence for us. So those people behind the camera, and then the genuine respect that we had professionally, and then the personal relationships, that all was part of it. And I, that's, you can't fake that. And there were, and great talent. It's funny because when you look back at the time, I think we weren't taken that seriously by the industry. I think it looked like, oh, here's a bunch of kids goofing around, having a good time, and and whatnot. But now looking back, people realize, and I always said that. I said there was people that were very talented people who took the work very seriously.
Yes.
And we worked very hard to make it look easy. And people realize that now in the industry more than they did then, because look what someone like Ron Howard has gone on to do. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Yeah.
And Henry, won the Emmy a year or two ago for Barry, and incredible actor who was nothing like the Fonz. That was a complete creation, and that work of genius on Henry's part. And and everybody, Marion, what a talent, and Erin and Anson, so
And Tom Bosley, yeah.
Oh my God, Tom, yeah. Tom had won the Tony on Broadway, for Fiorello. So there was great talent, and I think now we have more sort of recognition about that from the industry now than we did when we were doing it. It's a little unfortunate that we didn't have it back in the day, but
it's funny how that happens sometimes. Yeah. But you guys, you stay close and connected, right? You guys, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is. Anson up there, and we don't live that far from each other. We see each other all the time, talk a couple of times a week. We're like brothers, and the rest of the cast, it's kind of like the family, where I might go 6 months without talking to Ron or Henry, or even longer. But then when we do, it's like a week has passed, and so we stay in touch and email, and we'll get together periodically. So it's great. It's really like seeing your family.
It really, really is. And there you are when Marianne came out with her book, My Days.
All right.
You guys are all supportive. And
absolutely. Yeah. We went to New York.
There's you and Anson at Rockefeller Plaza. I think you were on the Today Show that day, right?
Yeah. We went and did the Today Show to help Marianne support her with her book. And that was fun. And Marion's still doing great. She's 94 and doing great.
Oh, we had her and her fabulously talented son, Jim Meskman, on the show as well, with all of his incredible voices. And
Oh my God. Yeah.
Marion said, Jim Masters, I want you to come to my Happy Days Ranch and we'll have lunch.
Oh yeah.
She's wonderful.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's cool
She
that she
sure
calls
is.
it the Happy Days Ranch there.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I've been there many times. It's great. It's great.
I've got another, in doing our research, oldie but goodie here, and Linda
Oh wow.
Pearl, who you've maintained a wonderful friendship with, and of
Yes.
course, the late and incredible Cloris Leachman. Tell us about
Oh my God.
this fantastic photo, Don.
Oh yeah. I'm so glad you found that one. This was from my very first, feature film called Crazy Mama. It was a Roger Corman production, and a lot of great people came from his camp, directors, some of the big directors. And in fact, this one was directed by Jonathan Demme, and it was his second film. Then Jonathan went on to win Academy Awards. He directed Silence of the Lambs.
That's right.
He directed Philadelphia, on and on, those kind of movies. And this was his second film. And it was, for my first film, what a great experience, because it was an independent film, and we were working really, Jonathan was all very enthusiastic and was very collaborative with all of us. And then Cloris was a force of nature.
Oh my
yes.
God.
She was unbelievable. And we were, and that's Stuart Whitman with her. And I'd watched Stuart in movies, as a kid. So that was a kind of a big kick for me. And Cloris, who had won the Academy Award like 2 years before this, for the Last Picture Show. So I was so crazy over that. I was working with her, and she couldn't have been better. And it was such a collaborative effort, and we were all just wanting to make it as good as we could be. So for my first film, I couldn't have had a better learning experience and just a joyful experience.
Oh, you've had many. Here's another one. Dick Van Dyke and Company.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Look at that, huh?
Yeah, I did the play Damn Yankees on tour with Dick. And then that's Vicki Frederick playing Lola, who went on to do a lot of stuff with Bob Fosse and a lot of other things. And then Ken Page playing the manager, who went on to played Fats Waller on Broadway and Ain't Misbehavin', and a bunch of other things. So that was a great experience. Had a blast. That was back in like 1981, I think.
Yes, absolutely. When you departed from Happy Days, what came next for you? Did you go straight into other work? What was that process like?
Well, that was one of the things I did right after the Damn Yankees. That was one of the first things. Yeah. Because what happened was I told my manager, my agent, I had left after the 7th season. The show continued 4 more years. Yeah. But I'd been playing the same character for 1 year, for all those years, and I felt it was time to move on. I wanted to have a career that went beyond that show, and I wanted to have some longevity, and I thought it was time to try to get some other things going. Yeah. And the one mistake I told my agent, I don't want to do television for a while. I want to just do film and theater. But it was very difficult to go from TV back then into film. It was just almost impossible. Very few people could see. It was not like today where there's a bridge between the mediums from TV to film and back and forth.
No, you could do that then, right?
No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
it was very hard. So it was tough. I went, 9 months and I couldn't even get an audition. I couldn't even be seen to read for, a film role. So then I said, okay, I'll do some television. That's when I started doing some of the guest roles that you mentioned, whether it be Love Boat and Fantasy Islands. And but then I did an episode of Chips where I played a hard rocker, like Kiss, the group Kiss, and very different kind of role. And then Star Trek Voyager, where I played the villain, and The Crow, where I played a psychiatrist, and Sliders. So I started doing a lot of television and more theater as well. I continued doing theater during that time, and then it started opening up a little bit more, as I kept pecking away at that, and showing people I could do other kinds of roles, and then I decided to direct my first play, and I was doing a bunch of theater in LA, and I directed several one acts and then some regular full length plays, and that led to me directing my first film called The Last Best Sunday, and in 1999. So, and then right after that, Ron called me. Ron Howard said, "I have a part for you in my next film. I'd love for you to play." It was called Ed TV, which you
Yes.
mentioned. So then slowly it just kept opening up, and I did Glee. I played a recurring role in Glee of the dad to the role of to the character Emma, and then The Great Buck Howard, where I got to work with John Malkovich, and so it more and more just kept doing whatever seemed to be something a little bit different, and a lot more independent films after that. And in the last 3-4 years, it's really blown up in a great way, and I've done like 4 films since November, and 2 years before that, playing everything from a pastor to a polygamist. I go from playing a pastor to a polygamist to a king, then to a prison guard, then to the CEO of a huge company.
It's incredible.
And then a career criminal.
Here's one of the projects, Lost Heart.
Yes, that's where I played the pastor.
Yes,
and I won an award, a Best Supporting Actor in a Feature Film at the International Christian Film Festival. So that was really great.
And congratulations for that too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's on Amazon. People could see that on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And Man's Best Friend as well, where I play a defense attorney for a wounded vet. It's a pretty powerful film.
Yeah.
That's also on Amazon. And I'm coming out in around Thanksgiving, a holiday movie for Lifetime with Mario Lopez and a wonderful cast.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, a Holiday in Santa Fe. I don't come on until the end, but it's a big part at the end. And
this was another Harley's Hill. This was getting involved in directing, right? This was really this is near and dear to your heart, isn't it?
Yeah. That was the third film I got to direct. That's Chris Atkins, who people remember from, of course, The Blue Lagoon, but many other things. Wonderful actor. He was great to work with. And there's Rance Howard. It's Ron's dad, who I cast in there, and that was a hoot to be able to, because Rance I'd known since we'd started the show, and Rance had always been very supportive of me, and so I was so glad that he said yes when I asked him to play a role in that.
Did you enjoy directing, taking on that new role at that time, and being involved in the directing side of things?
I did very much, and I'm hoping to do more.
Yeah.
I got really sucked in. I don't want to say sucked into it, but it is all encompassing when you do take on that role, because you have to be involved in every decision for months before you ever start shooting, and all the way till months after you shoot, and with every aspect of the movie. So you better like it, or it's just too difficult, and you're not going to do a good job if you're not totally into it. And I did get into it in that way. And hopefully it was tough. That particular one, my God. See, the first one I did, we shot pretty quick. They were low budget films. The first one I did, we shot in 18 days. So I had to be on top of it. And then the next one I did, a movie called Moolah. We had 21 days, but it was still very difficult because we had a lot of locations. But this one, Harley's Hill, shot in like 12 days, and we had a lot of animals and kids. So that was like a challenge beyond.
That makes for an interesting mix, doesn't it? It's a whole other challenge.
It's very hard directing the horses, and it's not just cats. It was horses and jumping, equestrian stuff with and young kids, and you only have them a certain amount of hours a day because of the rules of how long they can work. So let me tell you, that was I lost like 20 pounds doing that movie.
Just from the stress
Just,
of it all and
yeah,
moving everything around. And
it was like I was like I was directing at a mad sprint, you know.
I want
But
to,
it was great. It was great.
yeah, absolutely. I want to show some other cool shots we have here. We're talking about the different characters and the versatility of your talent. There you go
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah. That's from one that's going to be coming out pretty soon. It's called When George Got Murdered, all about the George Floyd murder, and it was directed by Terrence Tykeen, wonderful black filmmaker who was a former NFL player. And
That's right.
they got in touch with me and said, we'd love, I was the first one who kind of came on board, and I got to play a prison guard, as you could see. And it was quite
Yeah.
an experience. And that, yeah, there I am on the set with some of the other actors. So in a real jail that wasn't functioning at the time, but it was a former jail. So it really
Wow.
lent air of realism to it. And yes, then I'm playing a defense attorney, Ian Tapper, in Man's Best Friend, or MBF, on Amazon Prime. A really great script written by DJ Perry, and he's excellent in it as the lead, the wounded vet that I'm defending. So people should see it. I think
Yeah.
it's a pretty powerful film.
Another good one.
Yeah, and oh wow, that's when I was directing Moolah, and there's Treat Williams, who I was really so happy that he joined the cast in a really fun role, and it happened because I ran into him around Sundance area, and he said, hey, we started talking. Go, what are you doing? And I said, I'm pre-production for a movie. You'd be great for one of the parts. That's how it happened.
That's perfect. Sometimes that's just the way it happens, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
You just get together
and he was great in it. And that's on Amazon Prime too. People should. It's a fun movie, and it's very kind of it's hard. It's funny, but it's very
deep,
has some real
and
heart to it.
inspiring.
Yeah,
which is nice. And you like projects like that, don't you?
Yeah, I love the ones that combine. I mean, if it's a good script, to me, if it's really good, it almost doesn't matter what the genre and content wise is. But I guess I have a particular bent towards ones that maybe have both humor and drama, because that happens in life. And if it's done where it's real on both levels, so the humor comes organically into it, and it might be relief from the tension. So where you blend both of those seamlessly. Those are the ones that I really love.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do them brilliantly, my friend.
Oh, thank you,
As
Jim.
another.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that was from Moolah as well, the same movie that I was directing. And there's Shailene Woodley in her first film. I cast her in her very first film, and she was 13 years old. And then I knew I couldn't believe how good she was. And I remember saying to the editor when we were finished editing one of her scenes, and I turned to him and I said, she is so effing good.
Yeah.
And then look what she's gone on to do after that. A couple of years later, she's working with George Clooney, starring with him in The Descendants. And then she went on to do a whole slew of really The Spectacular Now, she was great in, and a few other films that the titles escape me right now. And then with Pretty Little Liars with Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon.
And you gave her this really wonderful opportunity, Don. And that's what it takes sometimes, when you see something and you sort of nurture it and mentor. And I'm sure, she's forever thankful for you recognized the talent in her and helped foster it, which is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that. I cast her in that because there was another actress up for the role, and some of the other producers, most of them were leaning towards going with that one because this other one had a very good comedic sense. She was in a TV comedy at the time. But I said, no, there's something about Shailene, the sincerity and the honesty that she brought to things that and the quality she had. I just said, no, I really feel strongly to go with Shailene. And I'm glad I did. Yeah, I would like to think that, haven't seen her in a while, but hopefully she, thanks me for that opportunity. Although I think the kind of talent she had, it would have happened. If it wasn't me, would have been the next director. That she's just so good, it would have happened regardless.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad I got to cast her in her first film.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Voyager.
fun. Yeah, Voyager, Star Trek Voyager. Yeah, that was about almost 20 years ago. Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, but I remember that was during a period where I was still having, and I still do, trying to prove that you could do something away from the comedy and away from Happy Days. So I went in, I auditioned for this. I went in and had a big scene that I had to audition for, and I was really glad when I got this one, because I knew, if I did this, people will have to start to see me a little. Going from Ralph Malph to that was a pretty big leap. So I was really happy to get that. I thought it was important at the time.
And you nailed it too. You knocked it out of the park for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good group here.
Oh yeah, this was a really fun project. It was a TV pilot called Puckheads, and about a minor league hockey, almost like how Bull Durham showed was about minor league baseball. This was minor league hockey, and I got to I was playing the owner of the hockey team, and there's John Turturro, not John Turturro, his brother. Oh gosh, his name escapes me right now, but that's John's brother. And next to me is Vanessa Angel, who was really delightful to work with, and over to just past second from the right is Kevin Sizemore.
Oh yeah,
we become good friends.
He's awesome. He was a guest on the show, and his wife Gina, who's very involved in health and fitness, was a guest as well. They're wonderful people, huh?
Wonderful, great people. And I don't remember the gentleman's name on the far side, but it was a great experience. And I hope I saw the trailer, and I think I got to see the pilot, and it's very good. So I'm hoping they, get it sold and placed on one of the platforms, because it was a cool project. I hope that winds up going somewhere.
I have something else that's going to light up the sky here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Now this was done in the Czech Republic, right?
Yes, this was right in the middle of COVID. I flew last November to Prague, and then from there, a 3-hour drive to this little town where there was a great castle that we were shooting, because I play a king, and it's kind of like a Princess Bride kind of film. And so some of it's in modern time, and then some of it's back in sort of fairy tale time. And I play a king, and they still are shooting this because they had to take a break, and they're going back into production next month to finish it. So there I am with Teresa. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on her last name. And this was in that amazing castle.
That's incredible.
If you could see the rest of it, you'd die. It was just amazing. So
you look the part, Don. You look the part.
Yeah, well, I try to, that's the whole thing. I love slipping into all these different kinds of roles and sort of losing myself in them,
Absolutely.
So the working title of this was called Parallax View, but they told me, the director said they're going to be changing it, and so I don't know. I'll have to come on again when and let you know when they do when it gets released, and let you know what it's called, because I don't know myself yet.
What was it like, shooting overseas and doing all of that? And it must have been quite an experience, huh?
Well, it was kind of a little nerve-wracking, flying there during sort of the height of COVID.
Yeah.
But it was all, I was wearing a mask and a shield, I remember, but everyone else was wearing masks, and all went fine. And they were testing us, had to get tested and go through all that. So there were no problems in that regard. And then I got to see some of Prague, which was just beautiful.
Yeah.
But then being in this little town in that castle was just amazing. I loved it. And I took a zillion pictures, and some of them you showed because I posted those.
Yeah.
And it was just, you could, everywhere you turned every direction, and it was just amazing to photograph. So I can't wait to see how the movie turns out. And you know, like I said, they still have a bunch of production left. So we'll see what happens with that.
And then, of course, working with Anson on this cool project.
Yes, this was wonderful. Anson and I got together. This was some years ago, but it just came out. Well, David Levin, the producer, came to Anson and I with an idea to do something where you take, to put us in something very different than what people would know us from. And this was a brilliant short, kind of a short film. It's about 25 minutes. And it's the two of us playing brothers, but it's very dark comedy, completely different than what you would think of as Happy Days. And it just, we've just entered in a bunch of festivals, and it's been accepted in 5 out of 5 so far. And it won an award for best concept film at the New York, at the Las Vegas International Film Festival. And in the New York Film Awards, we won best acting duo, Anson and I.
There it is there.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you both on that, Don.
Yeah, it was a great piece. People, I don't know if you could watch it now because it's being entered in all the festivals. It's not available online right now, but it'll come back sometime soon. So if you look out for it, it was called Harvest Time, and with Anson and I, I'm sure it'll be on somewhere soon.
That is really, really cool. Now, there's somebody who was a guest on our show, Landau, Eugene Murphy Jr.
Yeah.
And you got a chance to perform with him not that long ago. He's a great guy, too. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this was an event, and Kevin Sizemore that we were talking about before, he was the one who called me up because his friend is Landau's manager and was putting together. And
that's
Kevin
Burke, right? Burke. Yeah.
Burke Allen.
Yeah.
Burke Allen. And Kevin was helping as well. A gal, Laura Kepler, who was Miss America in 2000.
That's right. Yeah.
2012.
Who co-hosts with Gina. Yeah.
And she's a native of Kenosha, and she wanted to give back to the community. And with COVID starting to ease up, she created this event, Welcome Back Kenosha, and put on a musical concert on a Sunday afternoon, and some really great people. Joe Piscopo was there, performing, and then Landau that you mentioned. I got to do a few songs, and then we did a duet of That's Life, which one was great, and some other really wonderful talent. Haley Reinhardt, wonderful singer, she was there, and a few great local jazz singer.
Yeah.
So it was a really nice event. And I'm getting ready to go do my first, I've been doing jazz clubs. I'm going to do something at the Catalina Jazz Club on Monday.
Which is exciting.
It's a great club. It's like one of those old New York supper clubs, it feels to me. And then I'm doing my first symphony in Hershey, Pennsylvania on November 13th. So I can't wait for that. I'm so excited.
And that's a whole other side that some people who know you from television and film might not realize, that you love performing, and you put on an amazing show, and you've performed at so many fantastic places and clubs and venues. As a matter of fact, as COVID hit, you were in the midst of doing the shows and touring, right?
Yeah, I was doing some of the music, and I was also doing the play Middletown at a theater in Chicago, and we had to close down early with COVID. But I had to cancel a bunch of those performances. So hopefully, it'll open up in a big way. I'm looking forward to the symphony big time. I can't remember what theater that was. Oh, that might be Vibratos, which is a club out here in LA. And this was at Full Sail in Orlando with the Orlando Jazz Orchestra. And I have some great video. I think that's going to get put out as a video.
Full Sail University.
Yes.
What a place that is. My nephew graduated from that school. That place is unbelievable, isn't it?
Great place, and they had a great venue for producing that concert. This is at Vibratos, which is Herb Alpert's club up in Beverly Hills, and I love performing there.
And
that's for my CD, Mostly Swinging, with a great big band led by Willie Murillo, and he produced it brilliantly. And
how'd you select the songs for it?
It was tough. I came to Willie with about probably 100 songs.
I did. You got to whittle it down.
And we just started whittling it down. I don't know how, but we did. And people can check it out it's on iTunes and Amazon, but Spotify as well. Mostly Swinging, and great arrangements of some of the great standards. And
absolutely,
it really swings. And
Chris, speaking of swinging, you swung down the chimney.
Yes, my wife came up with that title, Swinging Down the Chimney Tonight.
It's perfect.
So, because we take some Christmas songs, and there's a couple that really swing. But then I had to do the beautiful ballad, the Christmas song that Nat did, Nat King Cole. I had to do that. And so that was fun doing. And I'm working on a new one, going to Nashville next week to finish it, and hopefully that'll be out early next year.
So you love this. You look at it. You give it your all. It's not just the singing. You put on an actual show. I mean, you really have a lot of fun with the audience. You really work it, and you have an awesome time, right?
Yeah. Oh, I do. I have a blast. I'm high as a kite when I'm doing this, and I do feel like it's not just singing it. It's sort of I don't know if it's living in.
You're sort of transported to another time and place, right?
Yeah, and there's the showmanship that I got from Jolson. Since I was a kid, it's
all the way back to then.
Right.
and of course, this was something that's very near and dear to you too.
Let me take a look. Oh yes.
Smoke from a Distant Fire.
Oh yeah. Well, so you see, this is on the new CD. I think this was released in UK. It hasn't been released really here. So we're doing some jazz standards on the new one, but we're also doing some cool songs from the 60s and 70s. Since that, I loved a lot of that music too growing up.
Yeah.
So some of the classic rock or Motown. So I did a Smokey Robinson song, and then this one, which I always loved. The Sanford Townsend Band did it, "Smoke from a Distant Fire," but we did it very bluesy, kind of slowed it up. So like I said, that people might even be able to hear that on Spotify now, but it hasn't really been released. The CD's not done yet, so I'm sort of holding off until we get that out there to start talking about it.
And this is something else too. Excited about, right?
Yeah, this is that symphony gig that I was talking about at Hershey, Pennsylvania on November 13th. And I love the picture they did. It's like Bach, like Mozart and Most. Bach, Mozart, and Most.
Yes.
It's quite the combination. So hopefully this will be the first of many symphony gigs, because I just, I love we'll be doing some of the swing stuff, because it's not just going to be, sweeping lush ballads. We're going to swing too, but then we'll also be able to do these beautiful, rich, full ballads with that symphony. I can't wait.
Which is so awesome. And of course, none of this happens without the love of your life.
Yes.
They're
indeed.
Supporting. Yes. And
yes,
right there.
Morgan.
Supporting
our wedding day. And then this was more recent. Yeah. We've been married. We met on Happy Days and been married 39 years. And
congratulations.
Couldn't be doing this without her. And as a matter of fact, the last show, she came up and sang with me, did a duet with me, and it went great. People loved it. And we're probably going to do a little bit more of that as we proceed. But I think that's going to be a lot of fun to do. So hopefully much more music with her together.
Absolutely. The blessings and joys in your life, my friend, are many, and they have been
Yes,
over the years. What are
yes,
some of those
indeed.
things that continue to inspire you? I mean, you could easily say, you know what? Film, television, stage, music, I've done it all. I could just sit back and relax and put my feet in the sand and have a banana colada or two. But you really are an entertainer. You're a people person. You're a communicator, and you do it so brilliantly. What are some of those things that still spur you on to stay so connected with everybody, Don?
I don't know. I guess it's just this burning fire still going on, that where I feel like there's so much more for me to do creatively. And as an actor, I was telling people 2 years ago, I feel like I'm just it's starting to break the surface of what I really can do. And it's starting, that's really been happening now. And so there's a lot left to do in acting, and I think music, and maybe directing as well, because I've got some of my own projects. So I just, I'm not done. I'm just not
No,
done yet. I think, a
no.
long way to go, hopefully.
You are still knocking it out. And so many people saying, Christine Clifton saying, oh, I love the title of the CD, Swinging Down the Chimney Tonight. Looks fantastic. Kathleen Walker says, Don, thanks so much for being here with us. So nice to meet you. You are an awesome lovety. Christine says, Don, you've had a
Thank you.
fabulous career, enjoying the conversation with all the great photos. How wonderful to have been in the cast of Happy Days. What a brilliant cast, entertaining chat as well. Carol says, the first thing I'm going to do after listening to this is getting the swinging down the chimney. She's going to get that, which is fantastic.
Wonderful. Great.
Alessandra,
I'm
North
very happy.
Carolina. Absolutely. Thank you, Don, for joining us. You're part of our new Lovity family. Sherry
thank you.
Larson, what a fabulous career. Thank you for sharing it all with us. Can't wait to see where you go from here.
Yes.
And they've been posting all these wonderful comments throughout, but there is somebody that is my sidekick who I show at the end, Don, who just wants to say that you've knocked it out of the park tonight, kiddo, and he's always admired you. Mr. George Burns is with us tonight.
Oh my God, how wonderful. George is here. I always love George.
Did you ever get a chance to work with him at all? Or?
Oh God, I wish I had. I wish
Oh
I had.
God,
No.
how funny you said, oh God, because that was the movie he was in.
That's right. Oh, a wonderful movie that he was hysterical. Yeah. I sure wish I had gotten the chance. He was one of my heroes. I used to watch the George and Gracie show every day, religiously.
Yeah,
So
you like
anyway,
the classics.
So it's good to see George.
Wonderful hearing about your career. Good luck with your future endeavors from Mary Bishop in Florida, Maureen in Arizona. Thank you for all the years of amazing entertainment. You are a shining star. Keep rising.
Oh, how kind. Thank you so much.
That's what we do on our show, my friend. And this was really fantastic. And I know you have a dinner date you got to slide off to. I appreciate all of the time. We will keep the porch light on. Let's stay in touch. I'd love to hear about all the other things you have going on. I wish you and the family nothing but continued joy and blessing, Don. And truly thanks for everything that you've done to entertain us, because entertainment, humor, drama, all of that is needed. The arts are needed, especially during times like this, where, you need things to turn to take your mind off some of the craziness of life, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for those very kind words, and for being so gracious to me, having me. And I'd love to come back when, there's some more good stuff to talk about. Okay.
Absolutely. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, Don.
Oh, it far exceeded. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care and be well, okay?
Same to you, Jim.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Don Most here live on the Jim Masters Show Live. We thank him so very much for joining us here, going through various decades of his career, talking about his music career as well. And of course, the time on Happy Days, the films he's been in, the films he's directed, the TV shows he was on, and the upcoming projects. He's got a lot of things he's working on. He's got to scoot off. They have a dinner date there in Los Angeles. We appreciate the time that he gave us, which was very generous. Great chat, Don. Thanks for sharing your life with us. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio. We appreciate that as well. Christine Clifton says, or Crystal Nolan, that is, says, thank you for sharing your life story, Don. I wish you continued success. And the green light, this one. Yeah, we do light our set well, don't we? It's kind of cool. Thanks, Carol. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Anybody that's watching for the first time, we would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's almost 500 episodes of our series that we have done here, which is amazing. 7 days a week live since we started our series. If you want to see the episode where Marion Ross was on our show from Happy Days, Mrs. C, Anson Williams was a guest on the show. Stanley Livingston from My Three Sons, Kathy Garfer from Family Affair. They were all on the show, and they were all wonderful people. And of course, singers and actors, actresses, and folks from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, comedy, music, sports, culinary arts, inspiration, science and nature, health and wellness, all joining us here on our show. Wowzer, what an incredible career he's had. And it was such a fun conversation this evening. I totally agree. Merlin always wanting the guests to sing. Thank you, Crystal, Blissful Angel. Thank you for sharing, Don. We appreciate that as well. Mary Bishop saying, wonderful hearing about the career. Good luck with future endeavors. Thank you so very much. Hey, I want to let you know as well, we have another legend joining us tomorrow on the show is Freda Payne. Yes, music legend, singer and actress. Don't miss this one. She is extraordinary. Just Google her. You know who she is, but just Google her and you will see the incredible things that she's done, the groups she's been in. It's been an incredible career for her and still is. Freda Payne is with us tomorrow night exclusively on the show. We can't wait. That's going to be amazing. That's Thursday night. Friday is a JMS special. It's the birthday. Yes, it happens to be my birthday. We're doing a special celebration live on the air with surprise guests joining us. That's right. The guests don't even know who's on themselves. It's all a surprise. It's this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on your entertainment lifestyle variety talk show, The Jim Masters Show Live. Coming up on Saturday from New York, famed New York photographer Jeffrey Hornstein is going to be with us live. We look forward to that as well. Monday, actor and singer, also from Saturday Night Live, Robert Bannon is going to be with us here on the show. Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. Again, really a true pleasure to have Don Most with us. Of course, you know him most from Happy Days, but so many other things that he's been involved in over the years. There's, of course, with Marion Ross, Ron Howard, and Anson Williams. They're all still very close, and they all still, talk to one another and get together. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because, that doesn't always happen in these very busy, demanding industries like we're in. Fantastic show again. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. Sherry says, thank you for another wonderful evening, Jim. Totally enjoyed Don. Don is a stellar class act. He really, really is. Carol says, great job. You really made Don feel comfortable. Thank you very much, Carol. I really appreciate those words. Spread the word about our series, The Jim Masters Show Live. We're here just about 7 days a week live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Sometimes we do earlier times in the day, like on the weekend when we have guests from overseas. We have a lot of overseas guests. We have an international viewing audience. Kathleen Walker says, that was terrific. Such a nice guy. Thanks, Jim and Don. He really is. He's the real deal. And Alessandra says, thank you for the show. Loved it. Thank you very much as well. We appreciate you being here. Merlin in Canada says, thanks, Don. You guys are the best. So a lot of great guests coming up. And again, really, it was a pleasure to have Don Most on our show, and just a couple of more. And some of these other things that he's been in, Lost Heart, like he was saying, he's he's really taken on so many roles, even recently too, that was again the one he was talking about that was filmed in the Czech Republic. This is the one that he and Anson Williams won the award on. That one there. And of course, his fantastic career singing. Now, and it's swing and it's really good feel-good music. Here he is with Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. You remember Landau was a guest on our show. If you missed that episode, we had an epic conversation with Landau. And he, of course, competed on The Voice, and really, really fantastic. And, the competition shows, and he was really amazing. But he's a great singer, too. And there's Don with Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. and some other shots. Again, Don is... he's living his bliss. He's doing his thing, gang. He really, really enjoys, he's had a long run and he's enjoyed every second of it. Look at that. He puts his heart and soul in everything. Much more coming up too. We loved having him on. We'll have him back. Keep the porch light on for him. He was a great guest to have on the show. Again, legendary in many ways through all of his work on television, in film, and of course, his fantastic singing career. We also talked about the early days growing up in Brooklyn, New York, and the influences of his family and his love of Al Jolson, and watching that initially on the $1 Million Movie, which was on Channel 9, WOR TV in New York, the very popular $1 Million Movie. And he was studying engineering at first, and then the acting bug bit him. And aren't we glad that he went in that direction? But of course, singing, all part of the equation for Don Most as well. Hopefully you got a chance to learn a little bit more about one of your favorite actors and performers, entertainers and singers, Don Most, through this conversation that we had tonight on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. There's almost 500 episodes now available for you to binge watch, to enjoy. Don't forget to, again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love that. Really important if you can do that. And click that notification bell so that way there you don't miss any of our incredible episodes of our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We would love that. Spread the word too. The channel that you're watching is Jim Masters TV on YouTube. The show is the Jim Masters Show Live. Jim Masters TV, this channel that we created, is a channel dedicated to entertaining, informing, educating, and inspiring. All of our episodes tend to do that as well. So really cool stuff with our very special Don Most joining us. We thank him very much for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Gang, let's check in with a couple more comments coming in, and we really appreciate this. That's what I love about doing live shows. It's all interactivity and lots of comments coming in. Oh boy, howdy. I'm almost more excited for your birthday, Jim, than I was for mine. It's going to be an epic show. Only 2 more sleeps. Sleep, what's that? And see, luck was on your side. Your internet in Canada stayed connected, so you can see the entire episode with our special guest, Don Most, joining us. Looking forward to Friday's birthday show. Thank you very much, Renee in Iowa. Good to see you as well. Christine Clifton says, Jim, it was thrilling to have Don with us in Levity Hall tonight. Love hearing all his stories. Enjoyed the photos as well. Wonderful show. What a terrific career. Good night. 2 more days, Jim, as well. Absolutely. Landau, Eugene Murphy Jr. was awesome on the show when he was here. If you missed that episode, you can go back and you can enjoy it. Good night, everyone, and sleep well. Sherry Larson and Ann Wozniak as well. Wonderful evening. Good night, everyone. You as well, Ann. We love it. A couple more comments coming in here. Austin Fields saying another excellent show. Thank you very much, Austin. I appreciate that. Merlin says she can't wait for Friday. Don't forget, we have music legend Freda Payne on tomorrow, which is a really rare opportunity. It's going to be amazing. She's spectacular. She's really amazing. Thanks. I appreciate that. Merlin and Renee says, great show. Have a good night, everyone. You too, Renee. Crystal in Connecticut. Good night, Jim and Lovities. Thank you for another amazing show. Thank you for being here. and for tuning in and joining us. You're here all the time, and we really appreciate that. Kathleen Walker says, have a great night, Jim. See you tomorrow. Hugs. Good night, all. Thank you very much. And everybody, all the great comments. You guys are truly the best. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thank you for your time this time. Till next time. Once more, we thank our very special guest, Don Most, Happy Day star, an actor and singer and director, and so much more, for joining us. And we thank all of you for joining us as well. Don't forget, as we always say, to smile. Don't forget to share the levity. Don't forget to find your Zen place. Of course, mine is the ocean. Living here on the East Coast, we're just a couple blocks from the ocean. I grew up near the ocean. That's the Atlantic, the mighty Atlantic you're looking at. And you got to pull me out of it. I love swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing it, just being by the ocean. It's pretty cool. And my work in television, radio, stage, and film over the years, I love that too. That's another Zen place. So find your Zen place, gang, and share it with the world. A couple more comments coming in here, and good stuff, good stuff. You just listened to the Christmas song, Jane in Sweden. What a great voice he has, right? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And Jane says, thank you, Don, for visiting us, your new family. Thanks, Jim. Night, everyone. And yes, you go to bed and you rest. It's kind of late where you are there in Sweden. We thank you for being with us here so late in Sweden as well. Don's going to see this whole episode. We're sending him this episode, so he's going to see the episode and enjoy. He'll be seeing all of your fantastic comments as well. He had a dinner engagement, so we wanted to make sure that he was able to go with his wife for that. But he gave us a nice amount of time, and we sincerely appreciate that. And he'll keep us posted on all the cool things that are happening, and we will definitely have him back. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being with us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We love all of you. We appreciate all of the comments, and don't forget to, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of our live episodes and other specials. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel, a like, thumbs up, and leave a comment for us too. Thanks to those of you who've been doing that. That really helps us, because then YouTube sees that, then they take this episode and they blast it out to millions more around the world who get a chance to enjoy what we just enjoyed together tonight. All right. So Ruth Reedy in Minnesota says, very good show tonight. And thank you, Ruth. Loved having you here as well. And hearts right back to you, Ruth. Thanks for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. This show is really amazing, folks. It's turned into something extraordinary. We work very, very hard to put all these shows together. As you guys know, I work full-time in television and radio in the day, and then I do this. But as I'm working during the day in my professional work in television and radio, I'm also working on this show, like building the episodes, getting everything together, connecting with the guests, making sure everybody has what they need, all the technical stuff and the production. Quite a bit. It's a massive undertaking, but we love doing it because you guys are responding. You're sharing, you're telling everybody. More and more new people are discovering what we're doing here. This isn't just a interview show and we just throw the video up on YouTube and that's it. We have conversations, we have levity, we have wonderful moments, we have interaction with viewers. We just do something real extra special here, and we thank all of you for your love and support of what we're doing here. Night gang, and you too, Merlin in Canada, and Maureen. Good night, Jim and Lovities everywhere. Till we meet again. Hugs and more hugs. Absolutely. You guys be well, okay? You take care. And thanks for all the comments. Continue to share the links on your social media. That helps us big time. We love when you do that. That is crucial and essential. And we're gonna duck out. We're gonna have maybe an ice cream right now. I think we'll have an ice cream. That sounds good about now. I think we've worked hard enough to have an ice cream. What do you think? All right, gang. We love you all. Take care. Be well. Back tomorrow night with music legend Freda Payne. Birthday celebration with surprise guests on Friday. New York famed photographer Jeffrey Hornstein on Saturday. Monday, from Saturday Night Live, actor and singer Robert Bannon's going to be with us, and so much more right here for all of you on the Jim Masters Show Live. We love you all. Take care. Be well. And thanks for being with us. Have a good night. Take care. Cheers.